A very good morning, students. Myself, Swati Thakre, your science teacher of Standard 7th for the academic year 2021. We are going to start the academic of this year with the first lesson, that is nutrition in plant. Whenever we start a lesson, it is important to know the introduction of that chapter. See, food. Food is essential for all the living organism. The components of the food like carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals are necessary for our body called as nutrients. All of you have learned in previous standard that carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are the components of food. So these components of food are necessary for our body and these are called as nutrients. Plants can make their food themselves. All of you this also know that the plants can make their food themselves, but animals and humans cannot do their foods. So humans and animals are directly or indirectly depends on plants for their need of food. This is about the introduction. Now next one is the next topic is mode of nutrition in plants. Mode means the way how the plants get nourishment or in what way plants get the nourishment. See, plants are the only organism that can prepare their own food. So, for the preparation of their own food, they need certain materials. That means water, carbon dioxide, minerals and some raw materials which are present in the surrounding. With the help of these things, plants can prepare their own food. So, the nutrients which I have already told you, that carbohydrates, proteins, fats, these type of nutrients are help, or what is the role or the function of these nutrients? They can help the living organisms to enable them to build their bodies, to grow, to repair the damaged parts of their bodies and provide energy to carry out certain their life processes. So first, what do you mean by the nutrition? See, nutrition means it is the mode or the way of taking food by any organism and its utilization by the body of that organism. So, there are two types of nutrition: autotrophic mode of nutrition and the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. See, autotrophic mode of nutrition, autotrophic word itself indicate that auto means self and trophic means nourishment, and heterotrophic means hetero means other and trophic means nourishment. So first let us see about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. In the autotrophic mode of nutrition, the nourishment is get by itself, by the organism. See, the mode of nutrition in which organism can prepare their own food by using simple substances, that kind of nutrition which get that organism is called as autotrophic mode of nutrition, and that particular organism is known as autotroph. For example, plants. Plants can prepare their own food. Okay, so they are including in the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Next, heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means others. So, the organisms which cannot prepare their own food, instead they can depend on others for the food requirement. That type of nutrition, or from depending on other animals they get food, and from that food they get nourishment. That kind of nutrition is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. See the definition: the mode of nutrition in which organisms can't prepare food themselves and depends on others for food. For example, animals and certain organisms. See, we human beings are also depend on plants for our food, or certain animals. Okay, so humans are depend on both plants and animals for the requirement of their food. As I said you in previous slides that plants can prepare their own food, but here one question arise that how plants prepare their own food, or with the help of what they can prepare their own food, or whether the food is whether that food whether that plant uses the parts or not. See how plants prepare their own food. The process for making the food in plants is known as photosynthesis. They can prepare their own food with the help of some certain process known as photosynthesis. See, you may also have the question like whether the food factories of the plants are located. The leaves are the main food factories of the plants where the photosynthesis occurs. So the synthesis of food takes place in leaves. So all the raw material should reach here. As I have told you that for the preparation of food in the leaves, there requires minerals, water, carbon dioxide. So these all should reach in the leaves. So how the raw materials are reached here? See, the water and minerals present inside the soils. So they get absorbed by the roots and transported towards the leaves. Here also one question is arise that how they are transported. See, the water and minerals are present underground soil, so they are absorbed by the roots, and in roots there are certain vessels which are run. So through that vessels these water and minerals are transported to the leaves, and also the carbon dioxide present in the air is taken through the tiny pores which are present on the surface of leaves. On the surface of leaves there are certain tiny pores. Through that pores the carbon dioxide from the air is taken inside to that leaves. That pores are called as stomata, and the stomata are surrounded by the cells. They are known as guard cells. There are certain cells which are surrounding the stomata. That cells are known as guard cells. See the structure. Here it is the section of leaf or the internal structure of leaf. In that case, see the pore. The pore of that, the pore is known as stoma, and the cells which are around that pores are the guard cells, and that guard cells contains the chlorophyll, which is the main part of the photosynthesis. So, what is so special about leaves that they can synthesize food? What actually the leaves contain so that they can prepare the food, that is they can do or perform the process of photosynthesis. See, the leaves have green pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, the chlorophyll, it is the pigment which is green in color that is present in the leaves, and that pigment have capacity, or that pigment helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. Okay, from the sunlight the energy is captured with the help of that pigment, and from that they can synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. That is, they can use the carbon dioxide, water and the sunlight which is present in the sunlight, and the chlorophyll pigment which is present in the leaves. With the help of these they can prepare their food. So the synthesis of food occurs in presence of sunlight, that is called as photosynthesis. Photo means light. There occurs the use of light. That means we here say that this process is known as photosynthesis. As the solar energy is captured by the leaves, they can store the food in the form of that, and thus the sun is ultimate source of energy for all the living organisms. Here it is the schematic diagram showing photosynthesis. In this case, here it is the plant which has roots, leaf. So, the water and minerals are present inside the soils, which are get absorbed by the roots and transported towards the leaf. Leaf possesses chlorophyll pigment, as well as it has the stoma, which I have already told you in the previous slide, that stroma can absorb through that stroma the carbon dioxide in the air can enter, and with the help of chlorophyll pigment which can capture the sunlight, and also water and minerals are get towards the leaf. So by combining these factors, they can prepare the food in the form of carbohydrate, and in this case the oxygen is released. So this is only the schematic diagram of how the photosynthesis occurs in the leaf. See, besides leaves, photosynthesis also takes place in other green parts of the plants, like in green stems, green branches. All of you also raise some question like, is only leaf is responsible for the photosynthesis process or not? So there are certain parts of plants which also involve in the process of photosynthesis are stems and green branches. So in case of desert region, the plants have scale or spine like leaves. That means that leaves are itself modified in a small scale or spine, and through that scale and spine, which are green in color, the photosynthesis is occur, and the main reason behind this is to reduce the loss of water, as there is the scarcity of water in the desert region. As I have told you that by using chlorophyll which is present inside the leaves, by using sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, plants can perform photosynthesis and do their food. So that food, what they can prepare, food means they can prepare the carbohydrates. In this process, oxygen is released and that carbohydrate is converted into the starch, which is the form of food. So leaves other than green also have the chlorophyll. Means suppose red color leaves are there, brown color leaves are there, they also shows or they can also perform the process of photosynthesis, as they possess the certain green pigment, that is chlorophyll in it also. So not only the green leaves but also red color, brown color leaves also perform the function of photosynthesis. See the picture here, leaves of various color. These are the various color leaves which also perform photosynthesis. Thank you.